the never before seen episode.
Did you plan
What?
that when I did this?
Never before. Oh, I didn't.
Did we plan that out?
We did not plan that.
Looking
I didn't
in there
really
and seeing
notice.
me do it, and that's wow, that's great.
Look at us. Synchronicity.
We're synced up.
We're synced up.
Synchronicities.
Everyone, welcome to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. My name is John.
My name is Dante.
Big week to talk about. First of all, welcome everyone. Episode 11. There's a little bit of a curse. We don't really need to say it, but a curse with a couple episode podcasts here and there.
All we can say is they didn't think we'd make it this far.
They didn't think we'd make it this far. Something we'd never say anymore because it feels off-brand at this point, but 1, 2, 3. Is this on, baby? This sounds on.
I just got the
chills.
Is this on? Chills. I don't think we've even mentioned that since.
Not once. It's kind of like a. I don't know. We kind of have rebranded a little bit.
That's right. One. Yeah. We'll find something else that we'll be doing.
Welcome, Dante. How are you,
John? I'm doing great today. I'm in a good mood this morning.
Me too.
The Royal Rumble is 2 days away.
Yes.
We both said right before we started recording how excited we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna obviously talk about that today. We're gonna talk about a few other things that happened. There was obviously Raw's 30 this week. A lot to unpack there. But yeah, I'm just excited to talk some wrestling. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. I'm very excited. Oh, so announcement. I guess really before we really get ramped up.
I guess we can say this. Yep.
We will be doing a Royal Rumble live watch party, just like we did a year ago. But this time, me and Dante are gonna be in the same room, which is gonna be even crazier. Yep. We're gonna have some beers flowing. We're gonna have a great time. We're very excited. We're gonna post a flyer on all of our social medias later. But check that out. I mean, time is the same time as the Royal Rumble, so
8 o'clock Eastern time, wherever you are.
Pay attention to the YouTube channel. Yes, we are doing a live watch party.
Lit.
There's another thing. Just subscribe, follow us on everything, Stache Club. We never say subscribe at the top of the videos, but we appreciate it. But we're going to get right into it. Enough dilly-dallying. Like you said, we have Raw's 30, and then also just, so you kind of know what's going on. We're going to do Royal Rumble predictions on the second half of the show, and it will be for the coveted. Haven't seen her in a long time.
It's been a while.
The SCW Predictions Championship.
I would hold this up right now because I am the champ, but it is currently being held by 2 candles, and I'm not trying to mess that up right now.
Yeah, we didn't.
But this belt will be on the line this episode.
Our props department really put in overtime.
We're working on some stuff, yeah.
Well, I'm ready to get right into it. Dante, the trial of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is found not guilty. What a segment.
What a roller coaster that segment was. It was so long, but it was so
apparently it went we'll get into it, but apparently it went way over time.
I think Becky and Bayley, the reason why is because of that. But anyways, super long, but so worth it. It was one of those things where it's it could either be they're milking it kind of there's some good parts in it, but there's some parts where it's we didn't need to do this. Every single second of this trial, this segment was excellent. It was perfect from the very beginning of just the emotions. Sammy's coming down, scared.
The acting chops on Sammy. Usually in a wrestling segment, you have to ignore the acting. You have to kind of you have to all right, whatever. They're not actors, but you get the story.
Right.
At least in this, I mean, the acting was...
He was selling it.
Oh my God.
And then Paul Heyman, fucking bar goes, he goes, yeah, you're chanting something that's so near and dear to my heart, but goes to Roman, ECW is dead. And so is Sami Zayn, wishing death upon Sami Zayn.
God.
And just going through. I remember you seeing a tweet where it was I wish it was more like Judge Judy-ish or something like that. As soon as you said that, it goes, show the tape. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
So funny that their tapes were edited the same.
It was perfect. It was so
Jay's
perfect.
I also edited a tape.
And then, leading up to that, just the moment. Well, first of all, we were talking about Sammy's acting and stuff. Roman he's the perfect role for being a disappointed father. I'm watching. This guy was just so mad, just so disappointed at Sammy, and it just felt so real. Solo, he's getting so frustrated. Solo goes to do the spike, and who comes out? Jey Uso.
Jey Uso runs and just grabs the arm.
Who would have thought?
Perfect. And then now you see Jay is fully accepting Sammy as a brother. God. And the look on Sammy's, because he's ready to accept it. He's Sammy
no defense.
There was no defense. He was just defeated. I lost. And he was just accepting his fate. and then it took Brother Jay to save him, and oh my God. And then he played the defense and all like the good times about Sami coming through and really, really, really just like one of the most fun segments.
Honestly.
Like I can remember in a while. Like just like watching it and just like you said, every single, there wasn't a second wasted.
And the thing is too, and what the bloodline and this whole storyline with Sami's, they've done so great at the unpredictability, because I genuinely didn't know what they were going to do. People were saying, I was hoping they weren't going to do a breakup, just because I thought like there's not enough build up. It would have been too quick, like not the right time. But I genuinely didn't know if they were going to do that. If someone was going to, I didn't know what they were going to do.
They also replaced the acknowledgement ceremony, which was like a big part of what we thought for, in terms of like story and predictions or whatever. And then this is something that we just didn't expect at all. And it ended up being like, obviously you can't tell what something would have been or whatever. Like obviously no Rikishi and whatever.
Sure.
And there was no extended bloodline family, but for what it was and it for being a replacement, and maybe The Rock said no, or maybe they're planning something down the line.
Right.
For them to like, no, we're doing this instead, and it working out as well as it did.
That's what like I'm impressed by too, is that this was a chain. It was like a plan B type of thing. So it's like, if this is how this came out, like I'm curious how the original segment would have been. And I think so the reasoning that they didn't do that is because I guess Rikishi was sick or something.
Oh,
and
that's really.
And Afa, Roman's like the older generation, it was just like travel issues. So I guess that's why. So I like when I initially heard it, right. So that's the whole thing. It's like, is this like a Rock said no situation, or is that's actually happened, but The Rock still is gonna? That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, just going back to the segment, just honest to God, probably best segment I have like seen in a long time.
It's up there. Off the top of my head, I can't
think of like over the last few years maybe one that was better, but just the emotions, just up and down, the excitement of it, and the fact that
it was like, because we talk about like how great like an MJF promo is, or how great whatever, but like this was like, it was a segment that had like a lot of the times it's a hard line to walk when WWE puts on like one of these like acknowledgement ceremonies, or like I don't know, like the Street Profits are having a party backstage, you know what I mean, some sort of like theme or some sort of like bit, you know what I mean. But the fact that like they played out this almost like court segment, and it went well, and it worked out, and it wasn't corny, and it was like as good as just like an intense off the cuff promo. Very, very impressed just all around. Like and it wasn't even like one person that like carried everyone.
Like Sami did his thing, Roman did his thing, Paul,
and then what was it? It was like Jay, I forget the line, but it was like, put your ones up if you want to see Sami stay in the bloodline, and then Jimmy put his up, and then the crowd, and then
they cut to Solo, and he just crossed his arms like, oh, he's not gonna do it. It was executed perfectly. Obviously, at the end, Roman said, Sami, you were not guilty for now.
Yes.
There's one last test for him. I love the whole, I don't want to see you, like, after tonight. I don't want to see you until Saturday. I don't want to hear from you. Nothing like that. And just, I'm
curious what this final test is going to be.
So, I have a few theories of what that could be. Okay. Either... there's this one theory I've seen is that Sami's going to replace Roman in his match, and Sami's the one that faces Kevin. I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's Sami's going to help Roman, or Sami's supposed to be in the Rumble and he's supposed to win to kind of be like, oh, no one's going to challenge me.
And then just give up. Or like, maybe the idea, probably
who was it? Like,
Sami wins, and at WrestleMania, like Roman's just like, lay down for me or some shit, you know?
When Randy Orton won a few years ago. He was in the Wyatt family. So everyone's just kind of like, oh, when Bray became the champ, like, oh, he's going to go after someone, whatever. That could be the idea. It's like, oh, Roman's the champ. I'm not touching him. But then there's a turn.
What's hard to predict now, because I think a big part of the show is going to be what order things are in. Like if the men's Rumble is first.
I think they'd be ridiculous to put that first, especially if they're hyping it up.
Or even if it depends on like, what goes first, Roman versus Kevin or the Rumble?
Right. No, I agree.
Like what, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The timing of that is very important.
Yeah. So then it's like, either like, okay, Roman wins, and that's a different implication. Okay, maybe Sami doesn't need to win. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I understand. I think logically it makes more sense for the men's Rumble to be last at least. Because,
I hope.
Right. I mean,
I hope.
I'm also saying that too, considering they're, first of all, if The Rock does return at number 30, you're telling me they're going to have him return an hour into the show and then fans are supposed to sit through the rest of the show?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. People are going to be exhausted after the first match. I'd like to see the Roman match go on first because I think that kind of sets the tone for the rest of the night.
Ooh, interesting. I doubt it goes on. I
believe
my guess is the women's Rumble. Yeah,
I think
the women's Rumble usually
they've
goes
kind of
first.
been doing that the last few years, where one starts, one ends. So yeah, we'll see what they do there. But dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see what happens.
I can't imagine. And we've been wrestling fans we've been rejuvenated wrestling fans for a few years. We've always followed it, whatever, but like back on being like real into it every single week and for a few years now. But this is the most excited I've been for like a story / intertwined with like a pay-per-view. Like I'm so amped. It's also because I love the Rumble too. So
the Rumble is so exciting.
It's a perfect, like, even if this Bloodline story wasn't a part of it, I also just love the Rumble. But like the Rumble plus like two of the matches being tied in with each other, and then the Rumble in general, it's just like it's all like a perfect concoction.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm very amped.
It's the perfect event for
a live stream.
It really is. No, but it's going to be the perfect event to like now after Saturday, we're going to have a good idea of the direction we're going down. A lot of questions are going to be answered on Saturday.
I think so too.
Which I'm excited for.
And then leading out of this segment was the Usos versus Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And then Jay suicide dive seems like kayfabe injured. They did throw up the X, which a lot of people are whining about, but like, you got to play to the smart fan. The smart fan isn't going to believe it unless I thought the X was fine. Who gives a shit?
Who cares?
It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, they lied and said it was real, and it's not.
Added
fuck
layer.
you.
Yeah, come on. Enjoy the product.
And then I they already had such a good segment. And I don't know how they made it better.
Right?
Like they bled into the next match, and it was like, holy shit, they continued with it. Like, holy shit, like they added that one more step of emotion, and then Sami and Jimmy are like, oh, what are we going to do? And they were going to stop the match, and then Sami's like, put me in the match.
Dude,
put me in the match.
This was going to happen at some point. So last week when they did the tag team turmoil thing, or 2 weeks ago, they did a part where Finn couldn't continue. So Dominic took his place.
Yeah, okay.
So usually in wrestling with tag teams and stuff, if someone gets hurt, it's usually 1v2. Usually there's not like a replace. I feel like it's never really been like that unless there was a special occasion.
The Freebird rule is real loose these days.
So in my head, I'm thinking this. I'm
there's no shot the Freebird rule.
Because I think they did that a week or two ago because they knew this was going to happen. Like, okay, like we need to make this make sense. If we did this a week or two ago, we can do it. So it's like, so when they announced it, it's like, why are they doing this? It's like they did it before.
Because they
it made no sense.
100% shouldn't apply.
Should not.
New Day makes sense. They're a trio.
Exactly.
But like, whatever.
This wasn't like that. I'm fine with it. But like you said, the fact that they were able to make it better. Usually you have a good idea. Like when there's close calls, you know how a match is going to go. I said the Judgment Day was going to win. I thought they were going to win. The near falls, the Sami breaking up the pins, I think it was like 3 or 4 times. Each time I was like, oh my gosh, like this is still going on. It's like a Rocky moment.
Remind me who got, I don't remember, who got
Jimmy got hurt. So it was him.
Who got the pin? Who finished the match?
Sami.
Okay, I was going to say.
They did the day one, or the Usos.
Yes, that's what it was. Okay, yes.
It was sick. They did it really well too.
Sami even replaced him in the finisher and did the Usos finisher.
It was perfect.
And then Sami pinned him to retain the titles for the
that's the part that was tripping me out. I was like, wait, is he the champ now? I was like, what? Wait, but it was for the Raw titles. I'm like, wait, is he the Raw champ? Obviously, it's not that much. Dude. You don't have to look into it that much, but just the storytelling in that match. And then it cuts to Roman at the end watching him and stuff.
Right,
and that's just adding that layer.
And then you kind of think
it.
like, well, Roman was pissed and didn't want to see him, but Sami just kept the titles with the bloodline. So that's another layer of just like Sami's
so
helping.
many layers to the story. It's so great. And when it finally accumulates, whether it's Sami turning on them before they turn on him, whatever it may be, it is going to be such a big moment. It is going to be such a big moment.
And I don't even want to put it in the air, but it needs to be said. They've done it so well up to this point. I just hope they don't fumble it.
No, I don't think.
I don't think they will.
At this point, I don't think they are, but I agree with you.
If I had to guess, I mean, like, you hear a lot of stories, like, back in the day, like, Vince, like, he wouldn't even know what the next part of the story was for next week.
Right.
This seems like something where, like, and obviously we don't know the inside out. Let's just say Triple H or whatever. It seems like at this point he's got his beats. Whether who's returning or what's going to happen. Like, it seems like he's building up to these different things at each pay-per-view and each stop. And,
right. And I think WWE has handled Roman, and you've seen the last few years, he gets treated like, he's ahead of everyone else. Even since 2015, they've kind of treated him like the big star, which he is. But when he returned a few years ago and won the Universal Championship, I feel like they were like, okay, we're doing this the right way. WWE is not known for their long-term storytelling. That is probably the last thing that they're known for. And like you said, there's reports of Vince McMahon that would rip up scripts before each Raw and stuff like that. Like, there was no consistency. They've done such a good job with this Roman storyline, where I also believe that I think that they've had this storyline for the most part planned out for like the last 9 months to a year. I think that they've always had the idea of who's going to beat him, how things are going to go. Maybe something's changed along the lines. I think
there's no shot Sami was in the original plan.
Exactly. I think Sami gaining the popularity that he did kind of change some things along the way, but I don't think it strayed too far from what the end goal is.
I mean, it makes so much sense to involve the family in it. So it's like they had to, like, a long time ago, but like, he's going to be the guy, and there's going to, Usos are going to be involved, and then, yada,
I like
yada.
to think that. I like to think that they planned this far ahead. Yeah. But going back, from how everything's gone, I trust that whatever they decide to do this Saturday going forward, it's going to be the best. Yeah. That best decision they can make. So that's right.
Speaking of a decision that might not have been the best to make, unfortunately, that means they had to basically cut Bayley versus Becky in the cage match. And I was looking forward to this.
I was too. I was too.
There was a couple other things that could have been cut. Like, there was
thinking the same thing.
There was another match. It wasn't the Street Profits match, but there was like another match that I was like, this is just.
There was a 6-man. It was Seth Rollins. No, that was the Street Profits match.
That was another match.
No, I agree.
But anyway,
there were a few other things that I felt they could have cut instead of this match. First of all, they brought in the steel cage.
That's what I'm thinking.
Obviously,
they brought it down. They built it. Like,
I wish. The bloodline thing, I think that needed to happen. I'm not 100%, upset. 100%. I'm not upset about that. That's the reason why. Like, that had to happen.
I think something else, like the DX segment, as much we'll talk about, but as much as I love the DX segment, some of that could have been cut down. Sure. The match that followed could have been cut down.
Hulk
like I said,
Hogan
there was
coming out at the beginning. Could have been cut out.
There was something. I don't know. If you want to talk about the cage match, why try to find this?
Yeah, I think they did a good job at like covering up. Not having the match, the attack, like that.
They did the attack.
That makes sense.
100%.
But it is disappointing because I mean, it's your biggest show in a while. You're hyping it up as this huge anniversary show, and this was probably out of all the matches announced, this was definitely the most not a title, like a steel cage match. Like, everyone loves steel cage match. It's not like a typical match, so people are looking forward to it, and I think it's kind of shitty how that's the match that gets cut, especially it's your two biggest.
Oh, honestly, I mean,
Bianca
and Sonya probably could have been.
The
backstage
segment I think could have been cut. I think they did a good job at like doing what they could with not doing the match, but they could have cut something else. I think this would have been a great match. It would have been a great match.
Yeah, it was, and it was like that was like the match that was like hyped up.
That's what I'm saying.
Too,
like, they announced 4 matches. Like, you had Lashley Theory that was announced, but this was I was looking forward to this match.
Me too.
I also kind of was like confused why they were doing it here. I thought they were going to wrestle at Royal Rumble in the first place, so
it would have made more sense.
It would have made more sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure
it sucks especially because like I like the Becky Bayley damage control storyline too. So like I think it could have used this. I hope they I hope within the next couple of weeks, maybe after the Rumble, they revisit it and maybe do like a street fight or do something.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that like what they did was they allowed themselves to have the opportunity to revisit this and like have a different match in a week or two, whatever it may be, or at a pay-per-view, whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. Kind of stinks. I was looking forward to them, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So
moving on. This is probably not in chronological order, but next one I want to talk about is the LA Knight, Bray Wyatt, Undertaker.
Talk
segment.
about a pop when Undertaker came out. I was hyped.
Oh my God,
I was hyped. Badass, like this badass Undertaker riding the motorcycle.
Oh, when they started
the American
with the
badass.
They started with the gong and then did then the blackout. Okay, we're gonna get classic Taker. The lights came back out and American Badass plays, and it seemed like the bike stalled and it wouldn't come out. And he finally, my dad texted me because he's a big like biker Taker guy and whatever. And I told my dad.
Was he watching the show?
So he loves like Hulk Hogan is his favorite wrestler of all time. My dad's like in his that's early 70s or whatever.
Generation.
And I was talking to him on the phone earlier that day, and I was like, hey, like big, like, you know, like my dad's like a wrestling fan. And I was like, big Raw tonight. It's got all the, he saw a commercial. Like he saw a commercial for like Hogan, Undertaker, and he calls me. He's like, and they got all the old timers on tonight. And I was like, yeah, I'll text you when like Hulk Hogan or the Undertaker's on, whatever. And I texted him when the Undertaker came. I was like, Undertaker's coming out on a motorcycle, and my dad's also a motorcycle guy, and he texts me, he goes, looks like the thing wouldn't start. Yeah, I don't know.
That was funny.
But yeah, really, really, really cool segment, and just like before we get into it, I guess 2 notes. One, and this I don't want to harp on it. Fuck Twitter, because I got spoiled a little bit. Where I saw a tweet.
We were talking about this last week.
I saw a tweet that said, it was a couple hours before Raw. I saw a tweet that said, report, the Undertaker is going to have some sort of segment involved with LA Knight. And I was like, so when LA Knight was on, I was kind of like,
you were expecting it.
I was still hyped, believe me. Like I don't let that ruin the moment, but like still. And the second thing, which is kind of a bigger talking point, where apparently Raw, this was the either highest viewership or the higher like gate ticket sales, whatever. In whatever the statistic is.
I think Gate was the biggest in all their 30 years.
Like, doesn't that show people want to see stars?
Yeah.
It wasn't the biggest gate because it was the biggest gate because they were promising Undertaker, Hogan, DX, and the Roman segment. Obviously, we'll give Roman his credit for sure.
No one watched that for the Theory Bobby Lashley,
right? Yeah, and it's like it's a bigger conversation. It's like, wouldn't you think a light bulb would go off and they see that ticket sales and like, oh, we should probably build
stars.
Stone Cold, Undertaker level stars again. Yeah, and they have one with Roman. I don't think
just one.
Just one.
There's no one else.
And I wouldn't even put Roman anywhere close to the star power that the Undertaker or Stone Cold or Rock had.
I think I agree with that. I think the generations
or even John
are different.
Cena.
I think the generations are different. Like wrestling back in the 90s, early 2000s, it'll never reach that popularity again. And Undertaker and The Rock and Stone Cold were the pillars during that time.
I would argue
even John Cena, I think he's an exception.
Okay. Like
John Cena,
John Cena was on top during the time where wrestling was the least popular.
I mean, PG era. Yeah, he was the lead, and no one cared about WWE. Like those are the years that people like.
That's what I'm saying. But he still broke out and was a star.
Exactly,
so
because I think his mainstream likability and stuff. He's the exception. I don't think Roman is on the. Roman is not on the level as those. He is not on the same level as those guys. But compared to the next guy below him, he's head and shoulders.
It's crazy.
So I love Seth Rollins. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Period.
Agreed.
I think any character we've talked about his character. Any character that he is given, he makes it work.
Yep.
For what it is. He's not close to Roman's level. I think Roman Reigns, and
he could
booking,
be. That's the thing.
He could be. But booking is a big reason. I mean, they've built Roman Reigns up like a god. He hasn't been pinned in 3 years. They don't do that for everyone. Cody Rhodes could be that guy. Next guy, maybe.
I think
they want him to be that guy.
I think the next closest might be Becky. I guess Braun.
I'm thinking of younger guys that they can build
what are you
up.
gonna say?
Braun Breaker. Because I'm thinking of young guys they can build up.
I'm saying right now. Closest.
I understand. I think Becky and Sasha, I think, would have been on that level.
Yeah.
And Charlotte are on that level, same level. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of crazy how you said that. Like, if WWE properly built up stars, they wouldn't have to dig into the well and have to bring back Hulk Hogan and advertise these names. Like, is it fun seeing those guys every once in a while? Maybe not Hulk Hogan, sure, but it's like you shouldn't have to rely on it.
And eventually they're not going to be able to. Like eventually they're going to stop. I'm not going to say eventually these guys are going to be dead.
But eventually the Undertaker's not going to be able to. You can't rely on him to sell tickets. And stuff.
It's going to get to a point where you can't get a Hogan, a Taker, even a John Cena to come and boost your
every single special show.
Right. And it's like, and you can do that for now, and it boosts ratings and gives you your highest selling whatever show in history, whatever. But it's going to get to a point where you got to rely on your stars that you have wrestling.
Yep, exactly. Yep, 100%.
Like you said, no one that gate didn't sell the way it did to see Bobby Lashley versus Theory in the main event.
That wasn't. It's not like a normal episode of Raw. Of Raw, and that just happened to break records. No, this was a very highly advertised show, which to their benefit. It was a good show for what it was, but it still does tell you how much they rely on.
I definitely don't want to shit on because I am the guiltiest of a nostalgia pop.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the DX.
Sure,
segment.
I did
you know what I mean? So it's like I'm not even saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the Undertaker thing.
It was sick.
Yeah, it was really cool. Just like passing the torch moment. Some people didn't like that it was Biker Taker, but I did. I preferred that it was Biker Taker.
I'm happy that you brought that up. When they were advertising the Undertaker, he wasn't advertised as a dead man. He was wearing sunglasses and a bandana and looking like a biker guy. Yeah, that was like in the pictures. If you look up like advertisements, whatever it was, he didn't look like the dead man. And now that he is retired, and now
he absolutely looks like the dead man.
That's a different one. That I swear,
that's a different one.
I swear. No, right there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
so maybe there were multiple ones, but that's the one I saw. But it's now that he's retired and he's kind of like, the last match, maybe I'm wrong, but his last WrestleMania match was the Boneyard match where he was not the dead man. Now that he's older, now that he's retired, everyone knows. Like, you can bring back the dead man every so often, whatever, but like everyone knows.
I disagree. I think the Undertaker is dead.
I think I wouldn't.
They should never bring back the Undertaker.
I would be okay if it was like once in a blue moon special occasion, but I'd prefer this Biker Taker moving forward. Just this 100%, should be the Undertaker.
Because now, especially in the Boneyard match, and in like promos leading up to the Boneyard match, and I think even like the WrestleMania before, he was transitioning more out of the Undertaker into Mark Calloway.
Yeah, AJ Styles referred to him as Mark Calloway. John Cena was referring to him like, "Oh, you're not coming back to wrestling me, but you're posting videos of you deadlifting on your wife's Instagram." You know what I mean?
I think just because of what the character and the legacy the Undertaker holds, it also makes sense for the Undertaker to be dead. And end.
That's the point of it. Yeah.
Like if it's any other character, like Hulk Hogan is always going to be Hulk Hogan. But like the mystique of the Undertaker character, it makes sense for it to finally, pun intended, rest in peace.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
I think it adds to that lore. So I think them just whenever the Undertaker is going to make an appearance, it's more Mark Calloway or it's more Biker Taker than anything. And it's that same guy that carries the legacy on his back. However, you're not going to see this amazing character because it's done. Yeah, the chapter's closed.
It ran its course. Nowadays, like, you don't need that character, and everyone knows.
And you still get the same. That's all I'm saying. You still get the same.
Everyone knows it's the Undertaker. Everyone knows. Hey, that guy was the dead man. Maybe he's on a motorcycle now, but you still know who he was. He doesn't have to be the dead man to get that reaction, to get that pop. Obviously, that you saw.
Yeah.
People
oh my God.
Loved it when he came out on a motorcycle.
And I even think Biker Taker, in like the outfit he's in, and Biker Taker's a little more like talkative and whatever, that almost matches Bray Wyatt better. Like Bray Wyatt is like, he looks like a guy you'd find at like a biker bar.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it almost made it feel, and also because it was more of a presenting Mark Calloway, where it almost made that passing the torch feel more real and authentic.
I agree with that. And you even saw like afterwards, like they tweeted and stuff like that. Like
that was cute. That was cute.
This was like like people not believing in me and getting that.
Didn't need the Undertaker tweeting.
That's the whole. That's the whole like him getting away from the dead man character. Yeah. Now he's just being himself. I understand, but I think it's just it was real.
Yeah,
that wasn't obviously, maybe even wasn't scripted. I think maybe that moment in the ring was Undertaker like, you know what, like, this is your time, and just did that. Maybe it wasn't even
Are you talking when he like whispered in his ear or whatever?
Yeah. Maybe Triple H didn't say like, hey, do that. Maybe
some people are like speculating. Oh, I wonder what he said. I think it was strictly like a real like, hey man, like a real one. I don't think that was any sort of like, I don't think like storyline. I don't think in a week we're gonna see like Uncle Howdy be like, the Undertaker said, I'm Uncle Howdy's cousin. You know what I mean? There's not. I don't think there's any story. Uncle Howdy. Yeah. I don't think. The Undertaker.
I know it's Bo Dallas, Bray.
Oh no, the Undertaker was. He goes, you know what? He goes, be honest. Is it Bo? I gotta know.
Is it you or Bo? Can you please? All right, I'm not fixing this. It took me forever to do that. We're keeping them there. Yeah, no, I don't think it's anything to look into.
No,
I think it's just genuinely just a
special moment.
Like, this is yours now.
I agree,
and that's that. And I think it was a very cool moment. Not something you'd expect. Obviously, they have their history, but just to see those two working together and just the choke slam pushing him into the Sister Abigail, I thought that was a very
that was very cool.
And I'm sure for Bray Wyatt, we talked about the tweet. I'm sure for him that was a very like the character he has, his just personality storyline with all this darkness and mystique and stuff. The Undertaker was 100% a big influence for him.
Oh yeah.
So
you can even tell like after like the talking in his ear, you could kind of tell Bray was just like he was listening and he took it and just kind of like, you know, nodded, and like afterward he was just like, you could tell he was like taking it in.
For whatever Undertaker said to him, whether we ever find out what it was or not, it definitely meant a lot to Bray, and I think that's very cool. So cool segment, great segment.
I'm ready to move. I definitely want to get to these Rumble predictions before we get to 2 hours.
Before we get to 2 hours.
The DX segment. Fun.
It's fine. Yeah,
I liked it.
I think it was a normal DX segment up until it was really funny when the Imperium came out and like, who's gonna match us? Who's gonna fight us?
That shit was so
Triple H was
funny.
They're like face to face. I'm retired.
I'm retired.
In my head, I'm like, this guy just had like a heart scare 2 years ago. No way he's taking a bump right now.
So fun. Like, I love that they all played into like the, hey, we're all old retired dudes. We're all retired.
They
made
fun
of
Road Dog or something.
Yeah.
They called him something. They made fun of his weight.
Kurt Angle replaced Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And then like even like all the bits of just like they like huddled and then Kurt said, fight you? No, I didn't. No. Like, I tweeted this too. Like, the acting shot, usually a lot of times comedy and wrestling is like a hit or miss.
Sure.
The comedic timing and just like everything, I think in that ring, Triple H and Kurt Angle, and like Sean's hilarious, but Sean's a little bit more slapstick. I think
Sean's like unintentionally, he's just kind of there, kind of.
But like Triple H and Kurt Angle are like comedians. They are so funny. Like I said, there's like a comedic timing that you can't like teach, that they just like have.
Yep.
You know, like Triple H would be a great stand-up.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But just like
funny.
No, I loved it, and then that led into like a little bit of just like old guys giving the Street Profits and Seth Rollins some props, and definitely could have been cut down.
Yeah,
probably, but. For what it was, I'm really glad Gunther got the pin.
I agree.
Or Imperium won or whatever. Like, I'm really glad they didn't just do like DX and the good guys win. Like,
sure.
Like keep Walter strong. And
and I also like what we're used to seeing with DX segments is usually they destroy a young tag team. So like when they had the 25th, they FTR, the Ascension. I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah.
There are segments where they come out and then they just bury them, essentially, right?
They all hit their finishers.
Yeah. So I was worried when Imperium came out that's what was going to happen. And I was just like, no, this guy you're building up, he's like one of the best Intercontinental champs we've ever seen. This group is like picking up steam. Why would we just bury them? So I'm very happy that Triple H and them decided not to do that this time around.
I'm trying to find a funny. X-Pac tweeted something wicked funny afterward. One, he said putting that segment together was one of the funniest times I've had in forever.
That's funny.
But he also said, "Oh, here we go. The only thing that sucked was not be able to hit our finishers on the guys who have to draw money after we're gone," which is like so. It's so true.
It's
and
true.
So just like
it's so true. So yeah, I thought it was a fun. DX is. You're gonna get comedic gold out of it.
It was fun.
Triple H carries like he is so.
And then Kurt Angle
good.
Joining too, which is like fun.
He has such a good comedy side to his character.
He's
like
hilarious.
Mid 2000s, there's a lot of funny segments with him, like just doing goofy ass shit for a guy that is considered one of the best like technical wrestlers ever. Great segment. I thought it was pretty cool.
And then we have Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title. I don't have much to say about the match. The big thing here, Brock
returns. Shocker. I wasn't that surprised. I had a feeling that something was going to happen at the end, some sort of screwy finish.
I wasn't that surprised, but it was also like predictable.
It's pretty,
Like I didn't think it was going to happen, but when his music hit, I was like I always like seeing Brock.
I like Brock.
Believe me,
his cowboy character is great, but
it was like okay, and then Brock beats up Bobby, and then it's a no finish, and then okay, whatever.
Yeah. I think. Because I didn't think Bobby should have won the belt. I think Theory, listen, if you're genuinely trying to build up Theory and fix the mistake of the whole Money in the Bank situation, you got to give him a good run. You can't have him just keep winning the belt, dropping it a few months later, winning. Like, you can't do that. So I'm glad, even though it was screwy, he did get the pin on Bobby. So he has
F5, the F5 on Bobby and the F5 to like land on him. I don't know how they did that. That
Perfectly.
was great. That was cool. Yeah.
I just think it's a setup. I think we saw them. They were at last year's Royal Rumble. They wrestled. They fought at Crown Jewel. I think this is just simply setting up a third match at Mania type of thing. And
yeah, I mean, hey, I'm never going to complain about just like Brock and another big guy throwing each other around.
Just beating the shit out of each other. I'm fine with it. Could they have... I would have liked it more if Brock Lesnar saved his return for the Rumble. And then we saw him and Bobby go at it. Maybe I think that would have been more of a.
It would have been nice if
surprise.
And then and that's a good way to get Bobby and Brock out because they knock each other out, and then Brock doesn't have to win.
Yes,
and then
yeah. But it is what it is. Theory's still the champ, which is fine. And you can take Bobby out of this story and just have him focus on Brock now.
And that was Raw's 30. Unless you have any other notes on Raw's 30.
I mean, we've talked about it for almost 40 minutes, so I think we're okay.
I'm honestly fine with skipping AEW just because we have to talk about the Rumble.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to mention was, I don't know if you watched it last night.
I had it on. I had it on. The Mark Briscoe.
Jay Lethal versus Mark Briscoe. Really, really fucking just powerful.
Dude, I'll tell you something.
Oh my God,
I was choking up hard because it was just, you could see it in their face. Jay Lethal was
Jay
so
came out already crying.
Emotional.
Yeah.
And
Mark was like holding himself together, kind of playing into the crazy character or whatever. Jay was a mess.
Yeah. And just watching it.
And for good reason. Obviously.
For good reason. After the match, when Mark was against the ropes, and he was like talking to the camera and stuff, and then he started talking about it, and he choked up. I almost lost. Like that. We don't have to get into the circumstance stuff, but it's such a sad situation. It's such a major loss in the professional wrestling world. I'm very happy that AEW was properly given the chance to
right, because there was a whole thing like Warner wouldn't let him on.
There was a whole thing there. So I'm happy that they were able to do this. I think they put out their because they recorded taped a tribute show. I didn't watch it, but it came out on YouTube this morning, I believe, or last night. So maybe I'll check that out. But seeing Mark do that, it was Jay's birthday yesterday too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That timing is insane. So just seeing Mark do that, I think that was just such a cool thing that he was able to do that for his brother. AEW did that, and it was special. I did watch the show, but I really only watched the show for that. I genuinely was just looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Like, not saying
it was a good show.
The show was fine,
but
I'm saying that's what I was looking for.
Yeah,
too.
Agreed. And then just like that final shot where the locker room comes out, they have the RIPJ, and then like
both the belts.
And again, like I don't know too much about the Briscoes, but apparently like Mark hit Jay's finisher,
yes,
and then he pinned him and did the whole point up, and then like that final shot of Mark on the stage with everyone behind him and on the Titantron or the screen or whatever, with like, oh my God, just like really, I think AEW really did a great job honoring Jay, and it was it was a really emotional match. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah, me too. R.I.P. Jay Briscoe.
R.I.P. Jay Briscoe.
All right.
All right. Well, Jesus Christ, we have the Royal Rumble to talk about. Holy Christ.
Let's talk about the Rumble. All right.
So for everyone, these are our predictions. We're not doing a separate predictions thing. The title is on the line. Dante, if you would, take it off the candles. This is for We haven't seen her in a long time.
No.
The SCW Predictions Championship. Look at her. Look at her.
Do you see
Just
that?
as shiny
She's
as ever.
Shining, baby.
So, I believe these are all the matches. We got the Pitch Black Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight match, Raw Women's Championship, Bianca versus Alexa, the Women's Rumble, Men's Rumble, Roman versus Kevin.
Yeah,
I believe that's it.
I don't think there's any matches. They might. I've been hearing rumors they might add like Charlotte versus Sonya for the. If matches get added, matches get added. I think these are the five big boys.
So I'm going to make a new note and put Royal Rumble predictions because. And what's going to be fun is because we're doing the live stream.
Yes, we are.
So we get to see all this happen. We get to crown new champion on live.
Yes, we'll be a champion will be announced at the end of the live stream for sure. Someone will be walking out of here Saturday night with this belt.
Okay. First match. Yes. Pitch Black match, Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight.
So, initially I'm thinking, no brainer, Bray Wyatt first match back. No, he besides like house show stuff, I don't think he's wrestled a match yet.
I believe that's correct.
You can say like, yeah, Bray needs to win this, return needs to win his first match, but like, what if we see like an Uncle Howdy turning on Bray Wyatt type of thing, right? So it might not be as
a lot of shenanigans that's gonna happen.
And it's pitch black, so we might not even see who wins.
We might not even know
who
who wins. The first 20
wins.
minutes of the show is you can't see anything.
You just hear the bell ring, and the winner is like, I didn't even see anything.
They were awfully literal, huh?
I am going. I'm actually torn because now I'm thinking LA Knight. The whole feud didn't start with LA Knight going after Wyatt. Wyatt went after Knight, and I'm thinking maybe.
And if they want this doesn't seem like the end of the LA Knight Bray feud.
Right. And LA Knight's so good.
LA Knight's great.
I think he's great.
LA Knight's great.
With all that being said, I'm still picking Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm also picking Bray. It's hard not to. I think that's a safe bet.
You have to. It's a safe pick. It's if he doesn't win. It would probably make sense why he doesn't win, like the whole Uncle Howdy turning on it, maybe. But like in my head, I'd like to imagine that this is the direction they should go down. Having him win it.
I think if it wasn't a light, like it seemed like the match is specifically catered
to him.
Yes, so it's like the advantage is already on Bray, so it would be kind of like it would look weak if LA Knight again without shenanigans or whatever. But yeah, I'm also choosing Bray.
Okay, cool. Next match.
Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. Again, could be some Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy implications here. They especially, I don't know if it was last week, maybe it was this week, I don't know, whatever. They've been hammering home the Alexa and Bray stuff. They've really been hammering it home.
Yeah.
Is it just a regular match, too?
I think it's just a regular match. Yeah, I don't think it's anything crazy. Maybe it's, I think it's regular. Maybe it's like a no
bring up the match.
Yeah, look it up just in case. I'm going Bianca here. I just don't, because in my head I'm thinking Women's Royal Rumble 2 and who's going to win that. Like,
they're probably going to have Bianca in the main event of Mania.
Alexa Bliss with the storyline, like the character that she's doing right now, doesn't need the belt. If she's just going to be the evil back to being like Sister Abigail, whatever it is, she doesn't need a belt for credibility. And I don't think the belt needs to be on. I think the belt will kind of get stuck on her because if you're building up to be a force, and it could be hard to have her lose it. And Bianca's been so great. I think that she should carry the belt to Mania, and if she's going to lose it, it should be to whoever wins the Women's Royal Rumble.
And they just swapped the SmackDown title to Charlotte too.
Yeah, I don't think Alexa. Eventually, maybe down the line, like post Mania, Alexa can get back her belt and go on that run, but I think right now they should properly close out the Bianca reign. So I'm going Bianca. That's a tricky one. Same implications with the LA Knight Bray Wyatt thing. Could be some fishy stuff that happens.
To no fault of her own, I want to stress this enough, to no fault of Bianca's own, I am so bored of Bianca as champion.
Are you really? Yeah?
We need a refresher. Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, okay. I respect it. Hey, I respect it. She has been the champ for almost a year. I mean, at some point, you got.
And they could, they could do a depending on where this ends in the show. Maybe it's, maybe this is first, and Bianca wins the Rumble, or Bianca finds a, because also though, the winner of the Rumble could face Charlotte.
Yeah, that's
so
correct.
It doesn't,
you're right,
you know what I mean?
You're right. Okay, hey,
going Alexa.
I would like different answer.
if they're gonna do, I think if they're gonna do the Bray Wyatt stuff, it would be cool to like, oh, there's a main title in the universe,
Sure.
and then you know what I mean.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'd be interesting.
They could. That's very.
Who knows?
I like that it's unpredictable.
Okay, women's Royal Rumble match, and here's what I want to do for this: you get a pick on who you think's gonna win. And you get another point for a surprise entrant that hasn't been announced. A surprise entrant. So it can't be like someone that's
like Becky Lynch or
right.
Bayley. Okay.
Who's like
a legend, someone that we haven't seen in
exactly.
a while. Okay.
Fun. This is supposed to be a fun pick.
Fun one.
Yep.
Okay.
We definitely should have.
There's only like
thought about
seven.
this before.
There's only 7 women announced for the match. They haven't done like any hype for the match whatsoever.
No. Oh my god, no.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I actually would have like not remembered that there was a women's Royal Rumble match. So I've kind of been on board with this. I think that she's very much overdue to not only win this match, but to have a big match at WrestleMania and to win a championship. And I think that person's Rhea Ripley. I think we were talking about building stars earlier, bro. Rhea Ripley could be that next major women's star.
It's a good pick.
And I think that this could be the first step of that build.
Damn.
Do you want me to give my surprise one?
Please,
too?
yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea.
For a surprise, I'm going to go with, and you might like this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Melina.
Ooh.
So she was in it last year.
Nice.
But the reason why I'm saying Melina is because, I mean, me and you, we watched it. We watched the show.
Sure.
You blinked, she came in. You blinked again, she was out. People are saying it was a mistake. There was an accident that happened. She slipped, or maybe they just didn't want her in the match for that long. Melina deserves more than that. She was one of the best female wrestlers on the roster for years, and she is a sure as hell future Hall of Famer. She deserves more respect than being in a match for 30 seconds. She deserves the spotlight. I'm not saying she needs to be a finalist or anything like that, or she needs to be in the match for an hour long, but she's a fan favorite. I love Melina. You love Melina. Everyone loves Melina.
I love Melina.
I love Melina. What can I say? I want her to be in this match and actually have a spotlight and actually have some time to perform old moves, to put on a nostalgic act, if you want to call it. Because I think it was kind of stupid what they did for her last year.
Dude, I don't know who's going to win this match.
There's only 7 women announced.
I got nothing
I mean,
for you.
obviously,
Who the fuck?
you can do like a Becky winning, Bayley winning.
I guess. I don't know.
Ronda. I know you're a huge fan.
God, that would suck. I don't know.
So think of you have Charlotte and Bianca right now. Who would face Bianca or Charlotte at WrestleMania?
Who fucking knows? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
That's a great question.
I'm gonna go, dude. Damn, the women's division is like they don't have anyone built up.
That's why
outside
there's
of,
not a lot of credibility there. 2 of your top females are champs right now, so they can't.
Ooh,
be in the match.
okay. I got mine.
Yep.
Winner. The fuck is her name? Oh, fucking Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Well, hey, if it ain't Ronda, it's Shayna. I think Shayna was close. Did she win it a few years ago? I remember she faced Shayna. No, I don't think she won it. She faced Becky for the belt at WrestleMania, their pandemic one. She's another woman that you can build up as
that's
a
what
legit.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think she could be what they want Ronda Rousey to be,
right?
Because she actually is like good in the ring.
I think she was huge in NXT.
She was massive in NXT.
So I think this is an opportunity to. You saw Ronda didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
This is an opportunity for Shayna to step up, give her the star power.
Can I tell you a female wrestler that maybe you'd want to think about to change? Asuka.
I was thinking Asuka.
You were thinking Asuka.
I was thinking Asuka.
She hasn't been around in a while. So.
I was really thinking Asuka, but she won it. I mean, granted, it was like, what, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago?
4 or 5 years ago.
She already won it. I don't see them doing a repeat yet. I don't know.
I mean, her and Charlotte fought already. Her and Bianca haven't, but...
For something, my gut isn't telling me Asuka.
Okay.
I
didn't know if you thought about
no,
it or
she
not.
definitely crossed my mind.
Okay, cool.
Surprise entrance. Mm-hmm. Let's go... Damn. We should have thought of this before. My mind.
It's okay.
I want. I mean, there's a lot of rumors, like, you know, like this company could come into play. This company could come into play. I was gonna pick something bold. I don't know if I want to. Kyrie.
Cool. I think that's cool.
Kyrie.
Yeah, why not? With Triple H being in the head of the helm now.
I feel like I'm just giving up points here. I feel like I'm giving up points.
I mean,
I could choose Mickie James, and that would get me a point. Mickie James would get me a point.
Mickie James is cool. I mean, she was in it last year, so it's definitely possible.
Kyrie. Fuck it.
Okay. That would be a huge pop if she came out with the belt
with
too.
with the IWGP title.
That would be nice.
Fuck it.
That would be cool.
Man, I am not confident in these picks. I gotta be honest with you. All right, men's rumble. We got the winner.
Yeah.
And then an entrant.
Oh, fuck. See, this is.
I mean, the obvious.
Genuinely, like, there's 4 or 5 different guys I think could realistically win this match. Can I list them off for you?
No, yeah, of course.
Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
The Rock.
Yep.
Now Sami Zayn. I think you can throw his name into the mix. And I don't know, John, if you have been seeing this rumor on the internet. About
Switchblade.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
About Stone Cold Steve Austin potentially being in the match.
The only rumor is I saw some bullshit dude from Clutch Points write an article about it.
Couldn't be me. So there is a rumor that he has been quietly offered a big a lot of money.
I've seen this like pop on my Twitter, and I've purposely not read these tweets because I'm like, I don't want
to spoil it.
I don't want to know who's paying who. I don't want to know.
There's a chance that
there's no shot.
I'm just
saying.
It's in Texas. He's in great shape. I think that the Royal Rumble is the fantastic place to set up a future match. I'm not saying Stone Cold's going to win. I will say, because I was writing that article, that article.
Just kidding. Yeah.
I know. I was checking the odds. Like, you can see the odds for who's going to win. Right now, Stone Cold is in the top 4 for odds to win.
Wait,
the
how
Royal
do you
Rumble.
see this? What is it?
I just looked up Royal Rumble 2023 men's odds, and it was updated like 2 days ago is when I wrote it.
What would it be? Sports betting die? I don't know anything about this.
Keep going down.
Sports Center.
Odds Checker. That's the one I looked at.
Checker.
But even
That's
all
those,
those, Stone Cold was top 5. So,
all right, Cody's number 1, 2 is Sammy, 3 The Rock. I don't even want to look at this. Why am I looking at this? 4 Stone Cold, 5 Seth Rollins, and Bobby, Kevin, Brock, Jay could be Logan.
So I think those top 5 are realistic. It just depends on how this is going to go. Is The Rock even going to be there? I'm thinking maybe Stone Cold comes out if The Rock doesn't show up. Like, he's a backup for The Rock. I mean, I don't know.
Ouch. This is tough.
Because Cody is like the safe answer. The 100%. Rock, if The Rock returns, he's winning. Sami Zayn, like, they could run that now. I'm like
surprised you're not just picking The Rock off back.
No, I'm not. I know he tweeted at me once, but I'm not his movie.
You've been the one that's been.
I know. I'm going The Rock.
Okay.
I'm going The Rock.
Okay, yeah. Of course.
Here's the thing. The whole thing of him not being
surprise
at Raw,
entrant, also The Rock.
The whole thing of him not being at Raw, I just think that's just coincidence of the whole bloodline thing not being able to work. I still think if they're going to ever run Roman versus The Rock, or Rock versus anybody for that matter, it's now. The Rock, I mean, when is he ever going to be able to free up time from acting in these terrible movies to come back and have a match with the guy who is this generation's go? If it's going to happen, it's this Mania. It's in Hollywood. The stars align. The whole poster is electricity. They made Rock gear. They put it on the shop a week or two ago. You're telling me they're just doing that for... It's got to be The Rock. It has to be The Rock. And if it's not Rock, it's Cody. But it has to be The Rock. It has to be The Rock. So I'm picking The Rock to win. And that's risky. It's risky business. I'm picking The Rock, and my surprise appearance.
Yeah, let me pick. We'll do some.
Okay, you go ahead.
Let me pick mine.
Yep.
I want to. Here's who I want to win.
Yep.
I want Seth Rollins to win. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. I think they can. There's too much. It wouldn't make sense.
He's also a safe winner. Like, you know what you're getting out of Rollins and Reigns.
There's so much other stuff that's happening. Mm-hmm. Like, how is Seth Rollins going to fit into the Bloodline story? Right. How is Seth going to fit into the Sammy stuff? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Cody I like. Kind of my same issue of there's so much happening with the bloodline. Interesting, though. The Rock doesn't have... not The Rock. Roman doesn't have a feud right now. Oh, Kevin.
But besides Kevin.
Besides Kevin... Well, okay, yeah, I guess I take that back. Because Kevin... They are building Kevin as a credible threat. But storyline-wise... Because Kevin is so wrapped up with the Usos and Sami, there isn't like a one guy that Roman is like going head-to-head with, you know?
Yeah.
Like Kevin's kind of feuding with the whole bloodline.
Yeah.
It would make sense for it to be like a Cody. My pick... I think my pick is Sami Zayn.
Okay.
My only problem with that pick is Sami just gained the trust of Roman. Mm-hmm. So less than a week later, he's going to... Like, I think they want to run with the story of Sami being back in good faith for a little bit, as opposed to, not even 7 days later?
Well, then it goes back to you have one final test. That test could be winning the Rumble, and that's you gain the trust. And also, too, WrestleMania is 2.5 months away, so you still have... The Elimination Chamber also is in Quebec, Canada, Sami's hometown. That's when so if Sami does win...
I saw something. It's another one of these spoiler things, but I saw something where it's like Sami's on the poster of the chamber, which I guess that's not a big spoiler.
Really but to your, like, Sami Zayn winning the match, I think it would make sense. Like, doing the whole, like, dude. Roman... for the crowd would go insane if you won. It's like a Daniel Bryan thing all over again. We've talked about this. But so he wins the match, and it's like, oh, I won. Don't worry, Roman. You can take both nights off. You don't have to worry about defending at all. Elimination Chamber comes in his hometown. That's when whatever happens. Whether he turns on them, they turn on him. If Sami wins, I think that's what would happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who Sami would toss out. Kevin,
maybe,
but Kevin's already in the
Seth,
match.
Maybe because Seth's obviously.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't need to be a crazy story.
It doesn't need to be a fit. I mean, he ain't eliminating The Rock.
Cody,
yeah,
be nuts.
Could be Cody. Because either way, if whoever wins that, I think the crowd would be happy, no matter if Cody or Sami won.
All right, surprise entrant. I'm going The Rock.
Douchebag.
My surprise entrant. Mm-hmm. It's a little safe.
That's all right.
Well, it's a little safe and it's not safe, but it's, again, this might be another Twitter thing. You saw it. I already mentioned his name, the Switchblade, Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
I think now there's other lower tier picks that might be fun to pick, like picking like a Scotty Too Hottie or a Carlito or just some of these mid guys that not mid, just like middle tier, whatever.
Guys that aren't.
Right.
They're going to get a good pop, but they're not going to be in the match for more than a few minutes. Like, it's just going to be like, oh, I remember this guy, and that's really it.
But I'm going Jay White. Do I think Jay White... Oh, my God, if Jay White wins. Oh, my God.
This Jay White debuting, it would be similar to, like, AJ Styles debuting or something like that, in which a happy 7 years, that was the other day.
And I think I think this Rumble could help, because there's so much other implications on it. I think it would do well for here's a new signee. And I think Jay White's contract is up or coming up or whatever. I want Jay White in WWE.
I would love that, because if he goes to AEW, I think he's just gonna
get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. I think if he goes to WWE, he's going to WWE knowing that he's going to be a big star. He's not going to go to WWE unless he's promised,
or he's on main event like Bronson Reed.
That could be fun. Okay, so my surprise.
Who's your entrant?
So when I think this is Triple H's first Royal Rumble event, he needs to hit a home run.
Yeah.
Right? He's setting the tone for up until WrestleMania. This is sets up every storyline, every question that we have gonna get answered. If you want to make this, if Triple H wants to make this one of the most memorable Royal Rumbles, which it's from rumor standpoints, from what we're hearing, could go down as one of the...
Could be a good one.
Could go down as a good one. Could be a good one. Could be a bad one.
Could be decent.
Could be bad. Could be good. Could be mid. If Triple H wants this to be one of the biggest Rumbles ever, you can't have a Royal Rumble without John Cena. I think John Cena, and I think because I want to believe that he is going to have a match at WrestleMania, and I think I mentioned earlier the Royal Rumble is a great place to set that up. I think he'll come in, People obviously go crazy. He'll do his moves, his 5-star knuckle shuffle, attitude, throw people over, whatever. Then there's going to be one guy who I would like to think he'll face either Logan Paul or Theory at WrestleMania. Just younger guys. Theory, kind of they have that similar look, similar whatever build up. And Logan Paul's, I'm a Logan Paul fan. I like him in WWE.
He's also like probably going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I think so. Logan Paul, I was thinking of saying him too, but I think that's kind of like not a given, but I think that's kind of be like a surprise that we kind of already know about. But I think John Cena being in it elevates the match. It's a big name, and he can put some guys over.
So you
while
think?
Doing it.
I think John Cena and The Rock are going to be at the Royal Rumble.
And Stone Cold.
Could
you imagine the final three? John Cena, The Rock, and Hey, fuck it. Let's throw Hulk Hogan in the mix. But hey, American Badass was on the other night. I bet you can still go.
True.
No, but I think so just imagine. You get The Rock. You get Cena. You get the return of Cody and these other surprises.
Be a
White,
crazy Rumble.
It will go down as one of the most, if not the best, the most memorable. One of the most memorable.
Where is the Rumble this year? Do you know?
Texas
City?
It's in,
you said that. Yeah.
What's the arena called? I forget what it's called.
Texas
it's like 40.
Stadium?
It's like 50,000 people though. It's gonna be packed.
I would. At this point, fans are smart, especially because a lot of WWE fans are AEW fans. But I would be curious to see what reception a Jay White would get. I think he'd get a decent reception. I think it would be a big reception. I think so.
I think you're at a point where WWE, not WWE fans, like WWE is so caught up in its own universe where they kind of like fail to mention like other promotions, but like don't whatever. I think when you saw AJ Styles debut, and granted this was 7 years ago, I think that was a big test of how are people going to react to an indie guy. TNA was big for at a certain time. TNA wasn't a big thing when he came to WWE. Like it was never like a competition. It was never competition WWE. He was in New Japan, which is a big deal. But AJ Styles never stepped foot in the WWE ring. For casuals, they might not know who he is. One of the biggest pops in Royal Rumble history for a debut.
You're right.
I think Jay White would get the same treatment. And plus,
I think so.
Plus, he has been on TV at least, like in AEW. So maybe a casual fan will hear that name or say it like, "Oh, I remember him. He was in AEW." So I think he would get a very good reaction if he debuted. I think he would.
Final match. Undisputed Universal Championship. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
I don't want to get too into this.
Please, come on, get into it.
I'm picking Roman.
Whoa,
I'm crazy. I know. I'm picking Roman because if it was a match where it was only the WWE Championship on the line or only Universal Championship on the line, maybe I would think Kevin can do this. Maybe there's a screwy finish. Maybe Sami fucks something up and he causes Roman to lose. But we talked about this. The way that WWE has built up Roman the last few years and everything, it can't end on Saturday. It has to be a bigger ending than him losing to... Also, that might not even be the main event of the night. You're telling me Roman's going to lose that historic run and not even the main event?
Yeah, it just wouldn't.
I don't think it makes sense.
Granted, I do appreciate they're building Kevin up as a threat. They've really, really done a good job of making it seem as possible as they can.
Yep.
But there's no... Especially they're in the middle of the hottest storyline, and it revolves around him being the most dominant.
Exactly. And I think WWE kind of put themselves in the corner in a way because who is big enough to beat Roman Reigns? Like, Kevin Owens is a big name, don't get me wrong, but is he... Wait
a minute. Think of this. Oh. Listen.
What did you just think of?
Men's Rumble match is on last.
Okay.
So the Roman... Kevin Owens beats... Holy shit, this is what's going to happen. Holy shit, this is what's going to happen. Kevin Owens beats Roman Reigns. Then the Rumble match. That's Sami's task to win. Sami wins. Sami has to get the belts back from Kevin for the Tribal Chief. Whoa.
I'll tell you one thing. That never crossed my mind. I'll tell you that for fucking sure.
Whoa. It's no shot it's going to happen. I don't see that happening.
Again, it goes back to me saying just how they've built this up.
Yeah.
I think that would be one of the biggest swerves. That would be one crazy. Of the big... That, honest to God, if Roman Reigns lost the belts, on any event besides WrestleMania, it would go down as one of the most shocking moments in history. Even though they built up Owens, it would be shocking.
if Roman Reigns loses, we have to finish whatever beer we have. And
if Roman Reigns loses, John, I'm sleeping here the night because I'm not going to be able to drive home. I'm going to be very drunk. The theory, bro, and that's the crazy thing.
You should Uber here in bed. Well, it might be expensive. I'll
be fine. I'm not. It's fine. I love this story because there's a million different directions they can go down. They really could. I can't see him losing.
I also have Roman.
You're picking.
That's
a great theory. It's a great different way of looking at it because it's a possibility for sure. Like that, maybe the final test that's what it is. Maybe in Roman's head it was something else. That's like, hey, now your new final test.
Right, you gotta get me those belts back. Yeah,
it could be.
But also that, the obvious reason that doesn't work because then we don't see Roman Reigns wrestle, and he's the draw.
It's like Sami.
But that would take the belts off Roman, and that would allow for a non-title match with The Rock.
Right. I'm still rolling with Roman. Roman beats Kevin. The Rock wins. That's where my mind is. That's what I'm sticking with.
No, yeah, I'm also picking Roman.
Hey, listen. For only 5 matches, we made this as creative and as different as possible.
I hate my picks, but
I thought you were gonna say I kind of like my picks.
I like them if they're gonna happen.
Sure.
But I don't
Jay White might not come out.
Melina Kyrie might not come out.
Melina might say fuck you to WWE and never come back.
The only one I'm confident in is Roman and Bray.
I'm not even confident in Bray. I'm confident in Roman, that's true. Not Bray. That's what makes it so fun.
Is this a drinking game? Do we have drinking rules over this? Are we just watching it and drinking?
I never thought about drinking games. I mean, we could do a Royal.
I thought you were the one that brought it up.
I did. For sure. I definitely brought it up. I mean, we could. Yeah, we can do Royal, each entrant you take a sip, or each elimination you take. Oh, I mean, we'd have to come up with something. Yeah, we can do a drinking game. We'll figure it out.
Maybe we should. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
There's definitely going to be some brews flowing. I can tell you. I can promise you that.
Drinks will be available to us.
What do we get?
Saturday night. I have a lot of Michelob Ultras at my house from the last time you were over.
I can't believe you're a Michelob Ultra guy.
Michelob Ultras are great.
You're
a Blue Ribbon guy. Yeah, you're criticizing me for liking Blue Ribbon. Get the fuck out of here.
What if Saturday we're putting back Michelob Ultras and PBR?
Well, you're putting back PBRs. I'm putting back the Michelobs. I'm not touching a PBR. They're disgusting.
We get to it the shittiest.
Hey, PBR Michelob. I know you're watching. Sponsor us.
It might be a Miller High Life night for me. Might be a Coors Banquet night for me.
Ooh, Coors. I'm not going to tell you what I'll show up with something.
It's going to be like a giant handle
of Mike's Hard Lemonade or something.
Or I was going to say just like a giant handle of vodka or
a bottle of wine or something like that.
That'd be cute. That'd be funny. We're on the couch with
what the fuck? Could you imagine, dude?
Ow.
Could you imagine?
Holy shit.
Wow.
We got that on camera.
You did. I hope you...
All right, the chair just broke.
Fucked.
Holy shit.
You destroyed this? How did this happen? We didn't even have a warning sign, no cracks. Ow. Are you okay? You fell
I'm okay. My butt hurts.
Your chair's not okay, I can tell you
Jesus.
Wow. Well,
holy shit. I can't wait to watch that back. That's crazy. Dude. I'm going to get another chair.
Hey, anything could happen on episode 11. You know what I mean? Here.
Holy shit. Yeah. The whole ass leg came out.
This whole thing.
My roommate's not going to be happy.
Well, that scared me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. We're just going to squat the rest of the episode.
No, I'm just going to grab another chair.
Okay.
Ow, holy shit.
All right. We'll be back in a few seconds. That was something. That'll make the highlight reel. God. Whoever makes a montage of SCW stuff, you can't leave that out.
I can't wait to watch that. That's holy shit. Jesus Christ.
There was no signs. You just fell.
No, just
it's not like you could hear cracking or nothing.
God. Holy shit! All right, at least
glad you're okay.
This even this chair feels.
That's all you're thinking. Yeah, it's pretty wobbly. Woo. Yeah, that's all you're gonna be thinking.
I think
about
I was definitely leaning back. Not much.
No, nothing you don't usually do.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Well,
what were we talking about? Drinking.
Drinking beers.
Swear
Whatever.
To God, we're not drunk.
Right.
Swear to God, we haven't started.
Well, those are our predictions. Again, tune in live whenever the Royal Rumble starts. We might be on a little early, 7:45, 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever. There will be a live wrestling party. Dante and I will be together. None of this webcam bullshit.
StreamYard, is that what we did last year? That was
but like this we can just do OBS and put it through YouTube, and you know we got the thing, the capture card, so we can use like the nice camera, so it doesn't have to be, we'll probably, I'm figuring out the microphone situation, so I don't want to do this the whole time. So like
I'll tell you what, throughout the night I will forget to talk.
We'll probably just like laptop mic.
Yeah. Do we have lab mics?
Yeah, but that's a whole other. Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we'll do that, and obviously the SCW Predictions Championship will be on the line as well. Either I will defend or John will be crowned the new champion. We've only defended it once or twice. I don't think you've even.
There was like when we first started, there was like two. No, there was the AEW.
AEW, and what was the other one? Survivor Series. It was around that time because we had War Games.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was War Games and some other AEW.
Yeah, you're right. And then then it's been like
MJF one.
Yeah. And then it's been like 2 months since a pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, it makes the belt more prestigious.
It does. I mean, you are the Roman Reigns of
for now.
Of this, I guess.
For now.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm still a little frazzled.
Yeah, but that took us by surprise.
Please tune in, subscribe. We never say. I meant to say at the beginning of this episode, hey, if you don't like the video version, the audio version is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of that stuff. We appreciate you guys. Really, really great week with the theme songs and this last quiz we put up. Really, really great week. Yes. We're excited. We are rolling.
We're very close.
We're almost back at. We almost have 30,000.
We're very close to 30,000.
Like holy shit!
And we were at 37, 38.
Yeah.
Hey, all because of you guys. We always appreciate the support you guys give us. We read the comments. We see how much you guys love the videos. Some of you don't like them, but most of you do. We really appreciate the support you've given us and allowing us to come back and give you guys this content, because we love doing this. And we're not just doing this because it's like a job or anything like that. I genuinely, well, it is, but I genuinely, I don't know what you guys know this. I get nothing. No, but we genuinely enjoy doing this.
Oh, 100%.
I look forward to doing this.
It is astonishing that like this is our career. Like this is our full-time job.
You told me when I was 10 years old
100%.
That one day my job would revolve around covering wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah, I'd be hyped.
I mean, like, I'd be like, no, like, that's a dream. Because we grew up watching this shit.
Yeah.
And it's just for it to become a reality where we're just not covering it, but able to have fun with it.
What do you tell people when you meet someone for the first time?
You mean when I was on my first date last week and she asked me what I do for work?
Yeah. When you like know they're not like, when you're like, they might not know the wrestling thing. We don't want to say the wrestling thing out.
I'm a content creator and I make videos for YouTube and quiz style stuff. And then I usually start with, you can make fun of me if you want, but we do wrestling stuff. And for the most part, it's not like they whoever I talk, they don't think it's super or anything like that. But it's wrestling, like, to some people it can be kind of like, oh, like that's but like for the most part,
I'll usually do the same thing of like, oh, what do you do? And then it's just like, oh, like I work for this media company and I make like sports YouTube stuff and personality stuff and da-da-da. And then if like I see they're good, like they're like cool, then it's like, then I do the same thing I said, like, call me crazy, but it is all like wrestling. And then there was like one date I was on. Usually it's just like, oh, that's fun, that's cool, and they're like, they don't get it. There was like one date I was on where she was like, that's fucking sick. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
it's very cool.
This chair is gonna break. This chair is gonna break.
You have that one right there. You can use there. Sophie. No, she sits in that one, right?
Yeah. All right. Well,
but again, thank you guys. Like John said, like, subscribe, put on the notification bell so you get the videos as soon as they come out. If you don't like watching us talk about wrestling, listen to us instead. All podcast platforms, look us up. We're there. You can follow me on Twitter at Dante and Deck, Dante Toro /Dante Toro 11 everywhere else. John, where can they find you?
You can follow me at Raspy Taylor on Spotify, on YouTube right here, and on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, go like some pics,
like some stuff. Also, Twitter and Instagram, Stache Club W. Check us out.
I'll try and make a little graphic of like our pics. So like a match card, basically. Ooh, yeah. So like our picks will we'll have a graphic so you can see it on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll have it so it's easy to whatever, and again, we appreciate it. I think it's just about time to get out of here, hit him with one of these.
Sign off on episode 11, and I can't wait to see you guys for episode 12. Peace out.